What is up, back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my top 5 dream wrestling matches, not like WWE versus AEW or within just AEW or just within WWE. I'm going to include obviously those two companies as well as the independents, and what I mean by independents is the US and Canada wrestling scene outside of AEW and WWE. But before I share my top 5, would love to know what's on your list down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. And yeah, let's get going with number 5. Number 5 on my list is the one most likely to happen, to be honest, and that is Jon Moxley versus Adam Copeland. They, to my knowledge, never faced off against each other as of this recording. If they did, not gonna hear it anyways. But either way, for myself personally, whenever I think of AEW, I think of Jon Moxley, and I said it before, I'll say it here, Adam Copeland is my all-time favorite wrestler, so having these two guys face off against each other, I'm not saying put it main event of a pay-per-view for the world title, nothing like that, but a solid like 10-15 minute match, main event, hopefully of Dynamite, but Collision as well would be super cool. But yeah, it is number 5. On to number 4. Number 4 is John Cena versus Kenny Omega, and for myself personally, obviously John Cena is the face of my generation of wrestling if you live in Canada or the US, and Kenny Omega, for myself personally, is the face of wrestling outside of WWE, like most notably in New Japan kind of deal. And I know that John Cena's definitely had more of a career behind him than in front of him. You can say Omega as well. But the face of my generation of wrestling, I apologize. Plus, arguably the best Canadian born and raised wrestler since Bret Hart. Would love to see a match in between the two. The only tag match I have in my top 5 is War Machine, also known as the Viking Raiders, versus the Usos versus the Young Bucks. I know that the War Machine versus Young Bucks have happened in Ring of Honor. I think War Machine or Viking Raiders versus Usos have happened within WWE. Again, don't know for sure about that, but either way, I can definitely see the chemistry of all three tag teams meshing really, really well, or at least more than what people might think of kind of deal. Plus, I'm a fan, supporter, mark of two tag teams for a long time, and then the third tag team are the Usos kind of deal. But either way, this one would be one of those, give it like 20-25 minutes on at least, middle of a pay-per-view, if not main event, have no problem there, and I would absolutely go bananas for it. Number 2 on my list is Mustafa Ali versus Dalton Castle, and I've said it before, I'll say it again here, that I'm a big fan, supporter, mark whatever terminology you would want to use. I am that towards both men, and with Mustafa Ali showing off on the independent scene for the last little bit, along with knowing how good Dalton Castle is, I would love to see a match in between the two, set the wrestling world on fire, and hopefully, best case scenario, I guess, would be like, I don't know for sure if Dalton can handle 25-30 minutes high pace match for main event of a, let's say, Final Battle, Death Before Dishonor, Supercard event, but I would take like a 5-minute match over nothing in between these two men. My personal number 1 is Okada versus Rollins in a match anywhere. Similar to the match before, I would take a 5-minute match at a house show over nothing kind of deal. Rollins, for the longest time now, has been the go-to guy for in the ring stuff, whether it's promos or matches for WWE, Okada is arguably the best wrestler, maybe not ever from New Japan, but for the last decade for Japan anywhere. And I just would love to see a match in between the two. The likelihood of this happening, I'm not saying is zero, but I would not put a shiny loony on this kind of deal, despite how much I personally would love to see it. So those are my personal top 5 dream matches when it comes to, I guess, the major indies, as well as AEW and WWE. Like I said earlier, would love to know what is on your list down in the comments below, as well as some matches you would want to see cross-promotion or not. Would love to know down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically. The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. I do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's